Look at his
I'd
yellow
take a deck
eyes.
around that. Laser eyes.
Alright. Okay, so I guess I just, okay, we're gonna go super in-depth here. I kind of just rushed through that last draft. It's getting to be the point where, like, I kind of know what to do. So I'm thinking less, which is bad.
So now we're gonna discuss every card.
Every card, here we go.
As I wait.
As you wait. Okay, so
What class are we?
we're Mage. We're Mage.
Okay.
Because you requested Mage. And I love taking requests.
You're such a request checker.
Yeah, I died to a Bloodlusted, Flame Elemental, and a top deck Lightning Bolt. So I mean, it's not too bad, but okay. So here we have Ethereal Arcanist. I hate secrets as a general rule. I don't take them very highly, and this guy's only good if you have a secret out. Also, most secrets just pop immediately the turn you play them, so you have to wait till turn 7 to play this guy to get a 5/5. So overall, this guy's really, really awkward and bad. He tends to just die immediately the moment you play him. Imp Master, you need board control for her to be good. Knife Juggler is just a 3/2 for 2. 3/2 for 2 are like the gold standard of stats. You try and get a lot of these into your deck every single draft. And so he's the pick here, even though his ability isn't that relevant most of the time.
I would have picked maybe Imp Master and a Mage, just because Mage is so good at trading up. And Imp Master creates a lot of dorks.
Mage kind of plays a little slow in the early game. She doesn't have any early tempo cards. So I can't really protect Imp Master well with her. I like her much better in an aggro class. Okay, so here's Grimscale Oracle. Murlocs are terrible. You can just safely ignore all Murloc cards.
Especially Murloc cards that say Murlocs on them.
Especially Murloc cards that say Murlocs on them. Yeah, that's like double Murloc. Terrible.
Thrallmar Farseer doesn't get there usually.
Thrallmar Farseer, yeah. He's only really playable if you can buff him. And Mage, for her buffs, only has the neutrals, like Dark Iron Dwarf.
Abusive Sergeant.
If I had like a ton of abusive sergeants and Dark Iron Dwarfs, then I'd pick Thrallmar Farseer pretty highly. Okay, so that leaves Boulder Fist Ogre, who has great stats for his cost.
Yeah, he's the other Yeti.
Okay.
He's Big Yeti.
So Cone of Cold is much more marginal after the nerf. It was okay before, now it's kind of not that great. Fireball is a premium common. You pretty much take as many as you can, unless you see a Flame Strike, in which case you take the Flame Strike. And then Water Elemental, just sanity check here. Water Elemental is insane, but it's not better than Fireball, right?
No,
maybe?
It shouldn't be.
I don't think it should be.
It's really good, but Fireball sometimes just goes to their face, and Water Elemental, he generally actually just draws removal.
Alright, hold on, I have a phone call.
Alright.
Alright, so I probably won't be able to get too far into this draft, but I can finish the draft at least.
Okay.
Alright, so here we go. This is a Cult Master. Argent Squire. Actually, it could be an Argent Squire.
Arden
Oh
Squire is
no.
really good in Mage just because you can trade up.
Yeah. Arden Squire is really good in Mage. War Golem I don't really consider as in the equation. He's too expensive. And he doesn't have that great stats. 7 for 7/7. I mean, compared to Boulder Fist Ogre, this is like, given that toughness is more important than power, this is like the same card as War Golem for one less. Cult Master is really strong. I'm probably going to take her, though.
I think Cult Master's fine here for
Um,
actually the same reason because you're pretty good at like Cult Master's worst fear is just trading with a 3/2 or a 2/2 dork, and Mage is good at clearing those off the board anyway.
that's fair. The one reason I don't like Cult Master is that sometimes I get too slow of a deck with Mage because I have like Flame Strikes in my hand, and so I
Yeah.
don't have enough low creatures to trade in. And you need low creatures to trade in to get the Cult Master value.
Yep.
Anyway, okay, so Elvish Archer is not good, especially since Elvish Archer it actually did okay in my Warlock deck, but that's just because I like cheap spells as Warlock. Mirror Image, I don't really like that much. It's an okay combo with Call Master, but obviously easily disruptible. They just kill the Call Master. It's also like it's a terrible top deck. It usually doesn't do anything in the late game if you're losing. Acolyte of Pain is very nice in Mage. I can ping it to draw cards, and so that's the one I'm going to take. It's a very slow but very powerful card advantage machine. Okay, this is a Water Elemental. These are very strong 2-drops. River Crocolisk and Acidic Swamp Ooze are both nice. Obviously, the Acidic Swamp Ooze is even stronger than the River Crocolisk. However, Water Elemental is Water Elemental. This thing always 2-for-1s, I think. It's so sick.
Not always, but
Not always.
It's pretty good.
It's usually 2-for-1s.
The 2-for-1s or it draws really quality removal.
Yeah.
Which is all you can ask for really of a creature.
And the freeze effect is great too. If they have like a Boulder Fist Ogre and they swing into it, then the Boulder Fist Ogre gets frozen for the next turn now. Which was nice.
And one thing that's really nice is like if you're low health against a warrior, a lot of times warriors are just waiting for like some weapon to kill you with. And Water Elemental's like, nope.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, Water Elemental is really good in the late game against weapon users. Yeah. Alright, so Frost Elemental is not bad. The Battle Cry is a pretty good tempo swing. And the stats aren't great, but it's fine. I mean, 5/5 is fine. Generally, 5/5 for 5 is pretty good, and the Battle Cry is, I think, worth the extra mana. Stormpike Commando is kind of in a similar boat. Bad stats, but good Battle Cry. He's not too bad either. I rate them about the same. I don't know which one is better. Probably Stormpike Commando by hair. But Acidic Swamp Ooze is a premium 2. Gotta take the 2 to fill out the lower end of my curve.
Huh. I think that Frost Elemental is much stronger than Stormpike or Stormpike Commando.
They're both good. I think they're both good. And they're both underwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wind Fury Harpy is kind of trashy. The problem is that Wind Fury isn't very good on... it's actually just not very good. The problem is you could play a Wind Fury guy, and then they have an entire turn to kill it with whatever they have. Either their minions that are on the board or with removal spells. And when you're killing it, it's just got 5 toughness for 6 mana, which is bad. Toughness is the most important stat. More than any of this text box, more than this attack. It's the toughness that really matters, and that's what kills this creature. Mirror Image is... I already talked about that. I don't like it. And then Arcane Missiles is kind of like a really, really bad Frostbolt. But that's okay, because Frostbolt was pretty insane, so sometimes you're okay with a really bad Frostbolt. Has good synergy with Mana Worm if I get any.
Honestly, I would take the Mirror Image here, just because you have a Cult Master.
For the Cult Master synergy? I don't know. I like Arcane Missiles because it actually removes things from the board.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. I don't know.
Usually, to be fair.
If you play it with 3 mana up, it's going to kill a 2 toughness creature like every time. Not every time.
Oh, I've had so many bad times where I just Arcane Missiles their face. So mad.
So mad.
I hate random effects.
You hate random effects. I think I embrace the RNG a little bit more than you do. That's maybe part of it. But the problem is that when you play Mirror Image with Cult Master, it's just like a different kind of RNG. It's like, do they have a shock for your Cult Master? And if so, then your combo is useless. Anyway, I'm going to take Argent Commander here. Argent Commander is the obvious pick. It's an amazing guy. He's not quite as good as he used to be with the health nerf. but Charge and Divine Shield is a great combo because it basically means he just gets to kill a guy when he comes into play, and it leaves an okay body behind. Compares pretty favorably to Stormpike Commando, who only did 2 damage when he comes into play. Ancient Watcher needs combos to work. I have no silence effects. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't take it over Argent Commander. And Mind Control Tech is a 3/3 for 3. If you watched my previous game, he never activated his Battle Cry, and you don't expect him to.
He's a solid 3/3 body.
Yeah, solid 3/3 body for 3. Oh, cool! Another Argent Commander, and something that says Murloc twice, and Ancient Watcher, which I already explained, so I can just take the Argent Commander.
Man, double Murloc. That's like double bad.
Okay, so Argent Squire, we've talked about how good she is with pings. Let's say they play an Acidic Swamp Ooze turn 2 after you played Argent Squire turn 1. You can just swing in the Argent Squire and then ping it, and it's dead. And then you can swing it into another 2 toughness guy and ping it, and it's dead. Winfrey Harpy, I've already talked about. Dragon Mechanic is okay. I don't like how the token she makes is a 2/1, which is easily pinged. And since 3 out of, actually really 4 out of the 9 classes are pingers.
Are you counting Paladin?
I'm counting Paladin, kind of. The 2/1 is kind of a liability. Alright, so Argent Squire. Okay, so Loot Hoarder versus Amani Berserker. I consider Loot Hoarder very strong, but I think, actually, I might be taking Loot Hoarder now over Amani Berserker. What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. Amani Berserker is so good. There's just so many times where you like...
Oh wait, actually, okay, so in the abstract, let's talk about in the abstract. In Mage, I have to take Berserker because it's just too sick to ping your own Berserker and trade with their Yeti or whatever. That's ridiculous. But in general, do you think Loot Hoarder is better? I'm not sure.
I like Amani Berserker better because Loot Hoarder, he's like a speed bump for all the pinging classes. You pay 2 mana, they pay 2 mana, whatever. And Amani Berserker is just like, he's not going to do it every game. He's not even maybe going to do it most games, but sometimes he just kills a dude and becomes a 5/1 that's really scary.
Yeah, okay. He's bad against pingers for that, but he's still a 2/3 against pingers.
He's bad against Mage for that. It's fine if like...
if you have, yeah, you're right. It's totally fine if a rogue wants to take 5 damage to finish it off.
Yeah. And you can sort of defend against a Paladin token, just ninjaing him.
I don't know. It's close. I think they're both very strong. Maybe both top 10 commons. Okay, so Ironforge Rifleman his stats aren't quite good enough for his cost. Deal 1 damage is kind of a weakish battle cry. Arcane Explosion. Usually they only have 2 creatures on the board, especially since they're playing around Flame Strike. So it's not that useful. It's usually like 2 mana for 2 damage. Sometimes, I mean, obviously, it has a huge upside. Like sometimes they just have a board full of tokens and you kill them all. But that's usually not what happens. Direwolf Alpha is a mediocre 2-drop. Really isn't even a 2-drop. He's something that you play after you play your 2-drop. But I mean, he's okay. I'm taking him.
I think he's like the quintessential card.
Yeah, he's pretty in the middle of the pack. Okay, Mad Bomber is a great 2-drop, especially in Mage because you can kind of combo him with your ping. If you hit something and it brings it down to 1, then you can ping it and kill it. He's a very nice 2-drop, definitely in consideration here. Spellbreaker, I think he was overrated a little bit before. Silence is not that strong in practice, but 4 for a 4/3 is still good stats. And then Harvest Golem is insane. Brings out a 2/1 token, good against board wipe, good against, I mean, he usually trades really well with everything. Like if they play a 3/2 and you play Harvest Golem, they're just like miserable because you trade in and you trade in. I think for curve reasons, since I only have 1/3 and I'm about halfway through the draft, I'm going to take the Harvest Golem, but it's pretty close between Bomber and Harvest Golem and Mage. What do you think, Philip? Oh, Philip's computer died. That's what he thinks. I'm going to take Harvest Golem. And okay, so Arcane Golem I used to think was total trash, but it's actually okay. Here's what you do with Arcane Golem. Turn 3, you don't play him. Turn 4, you don't play him, and you just keep going until eventually, um, it's right turn 7, and the mana crystal finally doesn't matter, and so then you can play Arcane Golem. Mana Addict is pretty trashy. The problem is that since it's a 1/3 on their turn, they can just kill it with almost anything. Like for instance, Acidic Swamp Ooze just kills it. Um, so so as a result, he's kind of bad stats. Also, you don't really have that many spells in your deck usually in Arena, so he's not like you're gonna pump him to crazy amounts. And then Abomination is pretty good. I mean, he wipes the board. The problem is he's kind of like Hellfire, and that you can't play him with a lot of guys on your side, but he's still pretty good. So I'm taking him. Okay, Cone of Cold I don't really like it that much since the nerf. Arcane Missiles, though, I don't really want 2 Arcane Missiles in my deck. Usually I just want 1, because drawing 2 is pretty bad. It's pretty close, I'd say. I might take the Cone of Cold here. I think because I already have 1 Arcane Missiles, I'm definitely leaning towards Cone of Cold, even though Cone of Cold is obviously worse than it used to be. Maybe people will play around it less now. What do you guys think? Yeah, as long as they don't pick Ice Barrier, yeah. Oh yeah, I should talk about Ice Barrier. Sorry, I forget that. I just kind of have a blindness to this card because I never pick it. It's just a life gain spell. That's all it does. Don't try and gain life in card-based games. The problem is it doesn't help you at all on the board, and it doesn't help you at all in your hand. And your board presence and your hand presence are way more important than your life. Your life total is not that bad. It's just a resource that you should spend. Okay, let's take Cone. Yeah, Cone of Cold is kind of a sad card, I agree, but what am I going to do, right? Okay, so Frostwolf Warlord is reasonably pickable here. I have a fair amount of creatures. I think Ogre is safer, though. But Ogre, the problem with Ogre is I already have 2 Argent Commanders and a Boulder Fist Ogre, so my 6 slot is a little full. So I think just because of curve reasons, since I only have this lone Abomination in the 5 slot, I'm going to take the Frostwolf Warlord, even though realistically he's not going to be that good in this deck. He'll probably be a 5/5 for 5, which is not great, but fine. Okay, so Arcane Missiles I'm skipping, just because I don't want to. Ironbeak Owl I'm skipping because I hate the card. I don't think it's playable. It's just I don't really like having the silence. The silence is not worth the card, and neither is a 2/1 body because the 2/1 body will just get pinged. So I'm just going to take Farseer, who fills in my 3 slot. Maybe I'll heal a creature with him. Okay, Polymorph is a premier removal spell, very nice. War Golem doesn't really do that much. Actually, War Golem was just too expensive. I think maybe actually I could take War Golem here if Polymorph wasn't here. And then Ironbeak Owl is the same thing. Just the silence isn't really worth a card. The 2/1 isn't worth a card. So I'm going to take Polymorph, just because it's just a really good removal spell. It kills big stuff. Okay, Arcane Golem I've talked about. Cold Light Oracle is usually unplayable, but in super aggressive decks that empty their hand really fast and try and win early, he can be okay, because the other opponent will have a full hand, and hopefully won't be able to use any of the cards that you've given them before the game ends. And then, meanwhile, you're drawing cards that might help you win, because you've emptied your hand. But Azure Drake is definitely the stable pick here. Spell power is great in Mage, so is drawing a card, and 5 for a 4/4 is pretty good stats. Okay, this is just another Fireball. Sorcerer's Apprentice is a nice 2-drop, but I'm fine on 2 drops. I've got 4. Probably pick up more. Already talked about Dragon the Mechanic. This ability comes up a fair bit. You'd be surprised at how much it comes up, but it's not that big of a deal. It's about as good as Swamp Ooze. Less swingy, though. Anyway, Fireball's the pick here. Very nice spell. Mirror Entity I don't really like. They just play a shitty creature and then it's like wasted. Like, you don't know how many times I played Mirror Entity and then they play like Novice Engineer and it doesn't do anything. Doesn't copy Battlecry effects usually. Brewmaster is not bad. He's got okay stats, but my 4 slot's way too clogged if you look at it. I don't need any more 4s. Usually he doesn't make the cut in Mage just because Water Elemental, Polymorph, and Fireball clog her 4 slot, and so you don't want to take mediocre 4s like Brewmaster. So it leaves the solid 2-drop. 3-2 for 2 is great stats, so that's what I'm going to take. Mirror Image I've talked about a little bit. Could honestly be the pick here, the way this draft is going. Frostwolf Warlord, I could take another Frostwolf Warlord. I don't want to take a mediocre 4. This is pretty close. I don't know. I'm curious what chat thinks about this one. Maybe I underrate Mirror Image a tiny bit and I should take it here, but I'm pretty sure it's, well, AG thinks Image. You take the Snapjaw. Interesting. I ruled out the Snapjaw because of my curve, but I guess I don't have too many 4 drops, so I won't have too many. Like Cold Master, you don't really play on turn 4. I only have Water Elemental to actually play on turn 4. That's actually not a bad choice. Snapjaw could work. I'm going to take the Warlord, I think. Okay. And then, okay, so Arcane Intellect. I don't like how it doesn't do anything for the board. 3 mana is kind of pricey for just +1 card advantage. That's all it does, is it just draws an extra, it increases your hand by 1. Cone of Cold is kind of mediocre. I also already have one. I don't really want to stack them. So No Motion Venture is just a fine card. Drawing a card is a powerful battle cry. I'm just going to take that. Hey, a Flame Strike. Oh, I should have talked. Okay, I guess there was Fairy Dragon, who's a good 2-drop, and the Bluegill Warrior, who is 2 mana for 2 damage, which is not good, but fine. But neither of them are going to trump Flame Strike. You just take Flame Strike over everything until you have like 4. Here, it's a little bit close between Fairy Dragon, Dread Corsair, and Flesh Eating Ghoul. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops, so I'm totally fine on 2s. I think I might want to take the Flesh Eating Ghoul just to fill out my 3 slot. Flesh Eating Ghoul can get really big. Dread Corsair is obviously intended for weapon classes. He's not good in regular classes. So I'm going to take the Flesh Eating Ghoul here. This is probably just a Fireball. Shadowed Sun Cleric used to be really amazing. Now she's still really good, but the 2 toughness hurts her a lot. Talked about Cone of Cold. I'm just going to take Fireball, though, because it's Fireball. Arcane Missiles I've talked about. I've talked about all of these except for Stone Tusk Boar. This is really crappy. I mean, 1 mana for 1 damage, basically. Really bad. Like, compared to Arcane Missiles. Arcane Missiles does so much more than Stone Tusk Boar ever will. Dark Iron Dwarf is insane, and I'm looking for maybe another 4-drop, because I have only 2 real 4s, and a bunch of spells that cost 4 mana. And also, he's the best card here. He's a very nice, aggressive card. I'm going to take him. Loot Hoarder, I've talked about, and then Booty Bay Bodyguard is a 5/4 for 5, and the Taunt is okay, but the problem is that Taunt is a really poor combination with the low life. And life is everything in this game. As I said, the toughness is the most important, and it's doubly important when they have Taunt. Because, alright, so you can cast a 4 on turn 5, but it won't be as powerful. Vaporize is not really a card. They just run a token into it usually. If you are really careful and clear the board and the stars align, then you can get a nice Vaporize, but usually it doesn't happen. Azure Drake is always good. I mean, one of the best rares in the game. And I talked about Arcane Golem. Alright. Yeah, no problem. So we'll play a couple games, and then I'll probably quit when my wife gets home. Another reason that you should say lacking your 5 slot is because if you run out of things to do with your mana, you tend to lose. So having things in the upper end of the curve, it doesn't really matter where they are, but you have to have some things that are just expensive, are good just so you don't run out of stuff to do.
You asked for it. My magic will tear you apart.
Okay, I'm gonna keep Swamp Ooze and Berserker. Anyone know why I can't get iOS users? I don't know about the Twitch TV app very much on Twitch TV app for iOS, other than that it's bad and that you shouldn't use it and you should feel bad if you use it. I'm really sad that it's so bad, because I would love to have a good Twitch TV app. I might even pay money for that shit. Alright. Tastingo is good enough that I think it's worth fireballing it. I don't want to just trade in my two. Well, actually, I could trade in my 2 guys. Or I could trade in my Berserker and swing in for 3. Or I could just... Maybe it's okay to trade in the Berserker, actually. I think I'm going to do that and save my Fireball. It's a little annoying that I don't have another play, but I think I'd rather lose my 2/3 Berserker than my Fireball. I do ping my Zerker for Enrage, and I think that was the right play. Just because, like, I mean, I could have Fireballed and gone in for more damage, but I don't know if it would have been better. I think no. Okay, sadly, I don't have anything to do against that Yeti, so now I Fireball. Which is sad, because if I did it in the reverse order, then I would have had mana this turn to play a 3-drop. Oh well.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Okay, so this is the hidden strength of Mage, is that your ping lets you trade up every time. So here I get to trade into his 4/4 and then ping it to kill it. Oh yeah, how do I get my keyframe interval to 2 seconds? How do I do that? So apparently I needed to have a keyframe interval of 2 seconds for it to show up on Skype. And I have no clue how to do that. Okay, so here, this is a little awkward because Winter is coming. He is going to use Flame Strike on me. I only have 1 Flame Strike in my deck. And I'm worried about this as being a mirror entity. But I'm also worried about this just being pinged and getting him 1,000,000 cards. So I think I'm going to throw away my Farseer, as embarrassing as that is. Okay, it's not mirror entity, that's nice. And then I'll just go in here. And I'm gonna get Flame Striked. That's just gonna happen. But I should be able to recover pretty well. Usually the secret's mirror image, or mirror entity, but not this time. Yeah, I say Winter is coming whenever Flame Strike is going to happen soon. It's just a thing I do. Okay, so I guess I'll just play dudes. I can just do Azure Drake and Acolyte of Pain. That's pretty resistant. Oh, actually, no. Let's do Argent Squire and Bloodfin Raptor because this is kind of resistant to another Flame Strike, and because I want to send this guy in here in case it's Vaporize. Mage Innate does warp the entire game. It does. Mage Innate's so good. Do you think it's fine as is? It's just so nice that how simple it is, but at the same time, pretty annoying. Alright. So I really would like to do hit here, ping, but then I'd have to attack here blind without knowing what that is, and it's not a mirror entity. So let's see what this is. Oh, interesting. Okay. So who knows what it is then. So I'm worried still about more board wipe, so I'm going to play Acolyte of Pain and ping first. And then I'll play Harvest Golem, who's reasonably good against board wipe, not that great.
Job's done.
Why do they have 7 mana Plague Wind at common? I don't understand. Oh, Blizzard hurts. Blizzard hurts like a bitch. Okay. This is kind of a rude awakening. So I'll just play Flesh Eating Ghoul and Direwolf Alpha here. And ping him. And hopefully I can get an okay Cult Master next turn. I don't like how many cards he has in his hand. 8 cards, that's so many cards. I have not checked for Counterspell yet, so that's probably what it is. Okay, are we ready to have fun? I think we are. I think this is going to win me the game single-handedly, just because I just draw a ton of cards here. This is an excellent bait for Arcane Missiles. For Counterspell. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this. And probably only get Counterspelled. And then I can do Cone of Cold here. I don't think I want to actually kill my Ghoul because it's so strong.
Job's done.
I'd rather him actually try and kill it. Okay, so he's forced to Flame Strike just 2 guys, which is probably fine. That's annoying in case it's... So if I copy his Abomination, that's not too bad, because his Abomination will kill my Abomination, and everyone will take a ton of damage. So I think I want to play Abomination. Okay, that's annoying. I could Polymorph it.
What to do?
Uh,
Do.
I guess Polymorph is okay, because I have Fireball left.
Job's done.
Yeah, he won't play the Abomination to mine. I was looking at that. I was thinking I'd ping it, and then it would kill both after I pinged it again, but I still take 4 damage, which is not fine. Oh, come on. Spamming the mirror entities. Fireball in my face, too. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so the good news is I can just play Knife Juggler here, which is not too bad. Oh, interesting, it's not. He just has all the secrets. Okay. I'm glad I got the lucky hit. Now we can't trade his 1-2 in. I think that is a tell for Pyroblast, that he just fireballed my face for no reason. Or a lot of fireballs. If I draw a second fireball, I can just kill him. Okay, that's not the most exciting thing. Hello? Yes.
The frost wolves stand ready.
Okay, sure. Do I pick you up, or do you... Am I just gonna leave the car there? Alright, hello guys. I have to go after this. But let me tell you. I guess I'm glad that I muted the mic at the last minute. I got a juicy bit of info that I can't repeat on stream.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Okay. So it could be Vaporize, it could be Counterspell. I think I don't want to. I think I'm just taking the easy 2-for-1. I might actually use my Flame Strike to bait out the mirror image. I will let you guys assume whatever you want. Okay, so yeah, I think it's probably Counterspell at this point. Let's attack his face with this just to see. Okay, it looks like it's Counterspell. So if I attack here, let's try and fireball him. Okay, it was just Counterspell. Could have been Ice Block, I guess. Alright, and I have to go. I guess I'll play one more, okay? And then I'll leave. Here we go. One more. Let me log my new thingy-majig.
Jaina versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
You asked for it.
Alright. I guess I'm sending back these two because they're kind of weak. I think I'm sending all of these. I don't like Flesh Eating Ghoul in my opening hand just because it's unreliable that it's actually going to be big enough. I kind of liked waiting. This is an amazing curve, just to know. Hello.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
I must consider.
He must consider. Oh, did you guys know that you can get a boot from this farm? I learned that today. It looks terrible, by the way. It does not look like a boot.
Get this apple on your head.
You guys will like be amazed at how awful it looks. I'm gonna try and get a boot. It takes a while though. Okay, so he holy smited my guy. I guess I'll just play Acidic Swamp Ooze here. Because probably he's going to coin in this. Oh, actually, no. He's going to play a 3-drop next, not coin. Okay, that ever annoying. This thing is so annoying. I hate this thing. So good. So I'm going to. I think I want to trade in and then play Harvest Golem on my own
Job's done.
rather than ping it. Because I can ping it next turn and play Amani Berserker. Hit ping was also okay looking there, but I think I like this a little better. Ooh, Powered Shield. Okay, he just attacked my face for it, so it was totally worth it then. So, let's see here. Ugh. It's very inconvenient. He's gonna draw a couple cards off of that.
What to do? What to do?
Let's see here. So I think I'm going to play. I guess I'll ping the 2/1 and play Berserker here, and just let him get his value. Quite annoying. I guess I could have also fireballed that, but that's also just a colossal waste, so I don't know. Next turn, I can do ping here and hit here, which is not bad. Even if he does hit heal. As long as he can't kill the Berserker.
I must consider.
Oh, Inner Fire. He went in. And now he can kill the Berserker. That's annoying.
Silver Moon shall not fall.
Oh. Except for he just attacked my face. Okay. So I can just kill that thing in one hit. Okay. Nothing to see here, folks. And then I'll play another Harvest Golem. And he can kill here if he wants, but honestly, I'd rather just ping that next turn.
The
Oh,
gates
let's
are open.
boot, boot, boot. Okay, so I'm gonna fireball that. It's too big. He seems to be unusually aggressive for a priest. This is not really how you're supposed to play priest. He goes to my face a lot. I don't want to trade both of these guys in. That's not really worth it. So I'll just attack his face back. I'm okay with trading hits, I think, against a priest. I'm not really worried about his scary endgame reach. Gotta get it sometime. Okay, now I actually do kind of have to worry about my health. I mean, I guess.
You call that a weapon?
The light protects me.
I'm actually a little worried now. Hopefully the Mind Blast don't come. The triple Mind Blast for the win. I'm still mostly okay. I just need to, yeah. I mean, I think I'm fine. It's just he had a surprisingly quick draw for a priest, I guess. But it's still fine, I think. It's interesting that he keeps on attacking my face instead of going for board control. Double shadow form incoming. I hope not.
Embrace the void.
No, here's the first shadow form. Okay, now he decides to trade in. And I think he's given up too much value to trade in now. I think we've gone too far to give up who we are. No, we've come too far to go for who we are. That's how it goes. Okay. So this is a great Argent Commander. Just because I want to play around Holy Nova just a tiny bit, I'll do that.
For the crusade!
Left, top, right, bottom if you want to spawn faster. Oh, okay. You have this guy down to a science, apparently. Okay. So... I want to ping this turn, so I think I'm just dropping the Frostwolf Warlord here. He's pretty good. That's not bad, 7/7. Then I, of course, ping the Arcane Shield off. And I think I just trade in. And I have big guys. The only bad thing is that Mind Control is a little scary here. Okay, they didn't have it.
For Najata.
Okay. And I guess I'll just trade in completely. I can't kill everything, annoyingly. So I'm leaving behind the 4/5, I guess, because he's less dangerous. I could actually... I think I could kill this and then just play Abomination and ping here. All my guys live through Abomination and you won't be able to kill my Abomination with just this. I guess that's the best play. I'm not sure though. He's just gonna suicide? He drafted 3 of these. Just saying. Alright. So I'm trading in. This is a 2-for-1. It leaves a bunch of guys on 1 HP, but I'm okay with that. Also does a lot of damage. And I guess I'll play Water Elemental and Acolyte.
Pain, speak to me.
Oh, hi, Fim. You have bad timing, I'm about to leave. But it's not because I don't like you. It's because I have to go. Four flame strikes, 12 wins, no surprise. Very nicely done. Alright.